Я вот думаю, что сила в правде.
Я думаю, что сила в правде.
Угу. Угу. Да.
What does it mean?
I think the power is in the truth. Hello? How are you?
Sabrisi.
Yeah?
Sabrisi.
Yes, exactly, yes. Where are you from?
Uh, ja is Ameriski.
Ah, okay. Are you excited for the midterms?
Yeah, definitely. Well, I live in California, so it doesn't. No one in California really gives. We know how it's gonna go. You know, right?
Okay.
Like if you live in a state like Ohio, then yeah, like people care about. But here, no one gives a shit because they know. You know, it's like I know it sounds. That's just the way shit is.
Okay,
Like
dude.
in communist China, you know who's gonna, what I mean, or fucking Venezuela, like you know how Syria,
Look,
you know how the elections are gonna go.
uh, so in California, it's all in favor of the
There's so
Democrat.
many Ukrainians now in California. They
Really?
all this is the funniest shit. I go to Tijuana a lot. It's a good
Uh-huh.
vacation, right? Good bitches, good food, good
Mm-hmm.
tequila. I love it all, right?
Mm-hmm.
But so when the thing started, right? So Ukrainians, they left, even if they're in like the westernest part,
Mm-hmm.
right? They left right and they went to Europe. Some of them they flew, they basically ended up in Mexico and
Mm-hmm.
they went to Tijuana border and they were camped out on the Tijuana border
Mm-hmm.
trying to get asylum to come into the U.S., which it was kind of, they shut it down like after a month because it was unfair. They were letting go ahead of the Haitians and the Latin Americans.
Mm-hmm.
But so now there's a lot of Ukrainians in California.
Really, really. And
But they're spreading so much propaganda, bro. I'm telling you. Like I've studied. I'm not a pro whatever, but like I've followed this thing since 2014.
good. So
I
you know
saw
about
Kiev burning. I saw it
you
was
know
called the Ukrainian Civil War in
yes, yes.
2014.
You know about the Donbass thing, the
I saw the battle. Yeah, because I played Call of Duty a lot growing up, and like I was watching footage of like the Battle of Hostomel Airport and stuff like
mm-hmm,
that, and all
mm-hmm,
that. And it was a conflict,
mm-hmm.
and but people who don't really follow conflicts in the world, they just see it like, oh, Russia is invading Ukraine, and just the fact that I don't like Biden, like you can tell when the first day he already had a speech prepared. He's like, let me be clear, Putin is the aggressor,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, okay, bro, like
Okay. Well, obviously know the history of the conflict, about the coup in 2014, and you know who came to power as a result of the coup, and you know what they've been doing to Donbass for the past 8 years. So, and Zelensky had a plan to build a bomb, a nuclear bomb, a dirty bomb.
yeah. No, trust me, this guy, like, even just so many people I know, just looking at him, like, if you know how to read people, like, he's just been trying to extort this is the dumbest shit, too. Ukrainian, they don't give a fuck about anyone else, too.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they were asking, the Ukrainian ambassador to Mexico was
Mm-hmm.
asking, like, why don't you send weapons? They're like, we're in no position. Like, we're already fighting our own drug war, like, here,
Mm-hmm.
it's like, they
Yeah.
don't know about anyone else. They don't give a shit, you know?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like,
You are correct. We have a joke here. Okay, I'm trying to translate it. Like, if you
they weren't
think,
even grateful for the Mexicans who fed them and
mm-hmm,
provided tents and stuff for them in Tijuana.
yes,
When
yes,
they came here, like, they don't appreciate anything. They just
yeah.
want, you know what I mean? Like,
So we have a joke here. Um, if you think that your parents owe you something, you're a child. If you think that your country owes you something, you're a dissident. But if you think that the whole world owes you something, you're a Ukrainian. It's exactly.
I saw this video clip of, it was some Jews in West, like Orthodox Jews, right, in Western
Mm-hmm.
Ukraine. And a guy wasn't even allowing them to go in the store.
Yeah.
A worker wasn't even allowing him to go in the store.
Yes.
You
And
know, so
I'd like to ask you a question. So, if Republicans win the Congress, will they reduce the supply of weapons and money to Ukraine?
I think I think the average, just analyzing it,
Mm-hmm.
the average Republican-leaning person, whether it's in California where I live
Mm-hmm.
or in other parts of the country, they realize the issues at home.
Mm-hmm.
They just like I told you, the Mexican
Mm-hmm.
ambassador said, we're in no position to provide weapons or supplies to Ukraine.
Mm-hmm.
Republicans kind of same shit. You know what I mean? They're kind of saying that uh, there's too much poverty, homelessness,
Mm-hmm.
drug issue, border. The border is the real conflict. You know,
Mm-hmm.
the conflict is not in Taiwan or Ukraine for America.
Yeah, yeah.
The
And
border with Mexico is the most important, like,
mm-hmm.
existential. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
you need funding, and why not send up like a UN force there? You know, to
Mm-hmm.
prevent. You know, that's the truth. So I think that, yeah, if Republicans win, they're going to take. That's what happens in American politics. It's bipolar.
Mm-hmm.
When you win, you
Mm-hmm.
immediately start trying to reverse some shit, or like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yes. Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
the problem with it too, though. It's like
Mm-hmm.
when when the last election, the first day it's shit like stopping these pipelines. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yes.
the rest of the world's not shutting down their fossil fuel production, if anything, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean? Like, but then they're trying to force like electric vehicles on us, but people don't even realize that all the batteries, the minerals come from Africa,
Yes.
conflict zones. And you know what I mean? So that these minerals for the electric cars
Yeah,
come from
and
the exploited labor, like in Congo, you know?
yeah, the lithium for the batteries.
It's all in Democratic Republic of Congo.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and
So it's just, that's the thing. The liberalism is such a lie. You know, it's like the push for electric vehicles. It takes so much to produce the batteries. Like,
yeah.
and the big vehicles that crush the minerals,
Mm-hmm.
those run on fossil fuels.
Yes,
The
and
big, like, that smash it, you know, like,
and when you dispose of the old like batteries, it's disposal
huge
of
strain on that. Yeah.
yeah, it's also has a huge negative impact on the environment to dispose of the batteries.
Yeah. So, but that's the thing, man. It's like, and also here's a thing. Many Democrats in the modern era, they don't care for individual liberty at all. It's all about like collectivism now, right? It's like society, you know, like they wanted to force people to have the vaccines.
Mm-hmm.
But Republican-leaning people, most people, even if they were pro-vaccine, they said that it shouldn't be forced on the majority.
Mm-hmm.
But people are so brainwashed, like Democrats or liberals, like modern. There's liberal fascism in this country, meaning that I bought a vaccine because I didn't want to get it. I have personal medical history and proof that vaccines have affected me.
Negatively.
No, not mentally, but just physically, like bad side effects. But I live in LA, so they were requiring this card. So I bought this from a guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just so I can still live my life. If I'm around liberal people in Santa Monica or like West Hollywood, they will look at me as a subhuman. They won't even look at me as human. If I said that I didn't, they're so accepting until you have a different opinion, you know.
Oh yeah.
And you're human filled, you know.
Yeah.
That's the most fucked up double side of the liberals and the Democrats.
Yes,
They
it's
want
like
to act. If you're a minority with a different opinion too, then, oh, you shouldn't vote that way because you're this, you're you know what I mean? That's the most fucked up.
yeah. Are there still people like Republican-leaning people in California?
Yeah, of course. No, of course. Like in most of the rural areas of California, people are more kind of like leaning that. Like my dad's always been independent,
Mm-hmm.
but he did vote Republican last election. But
Mm-hmm.
if you live in like the desert or the woods or like
Mm-hmm.
the mount, like most people are more because they care about their own property,
Mm-hmm.
their car, their truck, like guns. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
They want to go huck. So that's like city. It's America in general. The
Mm-hmm.
cities mostly are very liberal or Democrat voting. Even if
Mm-hmm.
you go to Republican states like Ohio,
Mm-hmm.
Ohio is an important state for determining every pretty much U.S. president.
Yeah.
If you look at the cities of Ohio, they all were Democrat voters. They're like, but then the rest, the countryside are all like all red. That's kind of, so the trend of the last election was that people in rural areas, regardless of what state it is,
Mm-hmm.
they voted Republican. And people in, because the whole New World Order push,
Mm-hmm.
the guy said it at Davos or whatever of the IMF or whoever the fuck it was. He said,
Klaus
own
Schwab.
that. Yeah. He said, own nothing and be happy. And
Mm-hmm.
that's how a lot of young people, social media and and this lifestyle that's being pushed in the U.S. They're pushing for own nothing and be happy. Just rent. Don't ever buy a house.
Mm-hmm.
Just rent. Just live in an expensive area. Don't
Mm-hmm.
even have a car. Just ride a scooter or a fucking skateboard.
Mm-hmm.
That's the truth. But it's like, but like, the truth is that whenever I go to Laguna Beach or
Mm-hmm.
Santa Monica, I don't even hear English or Spanish. It's Russian or whatever. Like
Maybe Ukraine.
there's like oligarchs that are like buying up like properties and shit, and the local people are being priced out of like
Mm-hmm.
and there hasn't been protections in place to you know what I mean? Because I went around, I was trying to ask for directions on the beach. No one spoke English or Spanish. It was like Asians or, you know what I mean? It's like,
Oh yeah. But maybe like a lot of Ukrainians, despite being so anti-Russian, they actually speak Russian in their day-to-day life. They
of
rarely
course.
speak their Ukrainian language.
Yeah.
Yes, that's the paradox. They hate Russia, they hate everything Russian, but they speak Russian in their day-to-day life, and that's the big paradox.
I had a girlfriend from Belarus.
Mm-hmm.
I met her in real estate. She's always lived in nice like beach areas, right?
Mm-hmm.
But she always kind of identified as Russian, but I kind of didn't know if she was like actually at like, you know what I mean? But I guess
Yeah,
it's just the same shit, right? Prima?
yeah, yes, and
Is there any different?
yeah, go ahead.
But she spoke Russian, right? And
Mm-hmm.
she like, but she would, because she's not going to try to say Belarus because most people
Mm-hmm.
don't fucking know. She would just say
Mm-hmm.
Russian. But
Okay.
I bet now with all that's going on, she's probably saying more Belarusian. Then,
Mm-hmm.
but I
Okay.
had a best friend growing up. He grew up in Moscow till he was
Mm-hmm.
like 8.
Mm-hmm.
My best friends growing up were Russian and Iranian, so I
Mm-hmm.
definitely had a different opinion of.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And what do you think about Elon Musk? When he bought Twitter, and before that he kind of took side of Russia, like he said Crimea is Russia, and like Ukraine should accept it, and will Elon Musk change Twitter?
Well, it's already changed. It's already changed. This is someone like you can now just tweet whatever, like look
Mm-hmm.
right here. You moved out of California for a reason. Crime out of
Mm-hmm.
homelessness, taxes. Your children, please don't vote the same way that you left.
Mm-hmm.
And then Donald Trump Jr., now he's posting a lot more on Twitter saying like, vote to bring safety back to our cities.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah. Okay.
Elon Musk he said he even put on Twitter that he recommends voting for a Republican Congress. Before he couldn't do that shit. He would have gotten banned from Twitter.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So I think that Elon Musk just now that he has Twitter and then right before it he says that you might have a chance, but it could always be like, Democrats are just so strong in this country because you have Hollywood, Silicon Valley, like
Yes, yes.
Trump was up against a tremendous amount of opposition.
Oh
Like,
yeah, like it seems like the whole like all of the U.S. Hollywood entertainment and entertainers, big
yeah,
tech
I'm around them. I'm around them all day. You know,
uh,
like
around celebrities.
no, not around celebrities, but just people who live in the areas that
Uh,
you see like all the shows, like the billboards, and
mm-hmm.
so it's definitely like, you know,
Mm-hmm.
there's so many
Okay.
Slavic women. There's so many Russians that you know, that's why I think like they must be like the daughters of some oligarchs or some shit, you know, like because you see them driving like fucking convertibles and all that shit. You're like, this girl looks like 22 and she's
Wow.
driving a fucking Mercedes convertible or fucking Corvette, you know. So
Okay.
I recommend uh, when you get a chance, just come check out, you know. Uh, my grandparents went to
Okay.
they went to Stalingrad. They went
Okay.
to St. Petersburg.
Uh-huh.
До свидания.
До свидания. Bye.
Спокойной ночи.
Yes. Bye bye.